As a relationship coach, what are some ways in which a disconnected marriage can be fixed?
Connection, communication, and commitment. I like to call this the 3 C's of successful relationships. It doesn't matter whether you've been through a difficult time, but these are the areas of any relationship that I feel we need to put a lot of effort in. And it doesn't matter whether you've been with someone for 2 days or 20 years. It is very important that we maintain that strong connection. Ultimately, relationships are about an exchange of energy. I give you something and you give me something in return. And for romantic relationships, that something is love, attention, appreciation. So maintaining that constant flow that literally links us together is so powerful. And the biggest barrier to that is essentially taking each other for granted, which means that we are no longer just directing this attention towards each other. We kind of spread it out to other areas of our life because, we've got him, her, we think it's fine. They're always going to be there because we signed a piece of paper. Also, communication comes into this because words and actions, the way we relate with each other, tells us sometimes through words of affirmation, sometimes through quality time or all the other love languages, that this person is here for me. They've got me. And what we want the most in relationships, I believe, is to be seen, to be heard, to be wanted, and to be chosen. So when we disconnect from someone, when the marriage or the relationship somehow breaks down, it's actually because we have stopped this constant flow of energy. And to fix it, we really need to work on that. We really need to work on understanding what needs were not met, what has led to that particular stop, what barriers were put into place, whether they were neglect, whether they were criticism, whether they were related to maybe another person, like a third party infidelity or something like this, which can happen. Whatever led to the current situation can actually be resolved if we go back to the basics. We communicate with each other. So teaching the couple to reconnect through expressing their needs, understanding that their need might not be their partner need and their partner's need, and finding ways to identify new solutions, new answers to the big question that they're facing. Also remembering that connection is, of course, in the head, in the heart, but it's also in the body. And really reminding them why they fell in love with each other in the first place. 2 days ago, I had a session with a client who has been with his wife for 10 years. I'm seeing them together and separately. And he was mentioning that, well, we don't really have a lot of things that we do in common. Like we don't have the same interests. She's grown into this whole fitness, different things that she's doing. I'm not in a position to follow on that path and I'm not really that interested. So I'm not really sure where we can connect. So the answer was, okay, well, let's talk about it. Communication about what are your needs, what are her needs, and where do we find that space in the middle that will promote your little bubble, your lover's bubble, as I call it. But what's also powerful about this particular couple is that they're still very committed to each other, even though they recognize that their relationship has reached a point where more attention, more intention, and more purposeful action needs to be taken. They are still very committed to each other, to their relationship, and to making it work, to finding new solutions. So I'm very proud of these kind of clients, and I'm very myself committed to help them on this path by putting together a plan for them, to give them structure, to help them rediscover those things that brought them together, that made them fall in love, and promise each other the support and this lifelong adventure that they've started on. So to fix something that has now let's say lost a bit of the spark, really the focus needs to be on this. If the partners are committed to each other and to having a relationship, I like to guide them on a path to not getting things back, And that may take some people by surprise, because a lot of people say, hey, I want to go
Yeah.
back to what we had. But the
Yeah.
reality is, neither of you, neither of these partners or any partners in this situation is the same they were 10 years ago, 5 years ago, even 2 days
Mhm.
ago. So the
Mhm.
opportunity and my approach is really to say, okay, who are you today as an individual? Who are you today as an individual? Let's see how much of this can create an overlap, like a Venn diagram, the me, the you, and the us in the middle. So
Mm.
the goal and the pathway to fixing a broken marriage or a disconnected marriage is
Mhm.
really to bring the two individuals, their little me bubbles, to overlap with each other. It could be in new ways. It may
Mhm.
not be getting back the same amount of sexual chemistry that they had. It may not be doing the same things that they were doing together when they were young. I see this very often with clients who now have evolved from being a party couple, going out, traveling, exploring, to now being parents, which obviously changes a lot of things
Mhm.
in someone's life. So they no longer can be out there partying every Friday night in Lang Kwai Fong or Wyndham Street because there's kids at home. Part of them might still want that old life back,
Mm.
but the reality is you do have two little ones at home, so or however many, right? But it's the work is not about going back to what it was, but the opportunity of what could be and what is the new model that you want to explore, because I think everyone deserves and is capable of creating the relationship of their dreams. It just takes a little bit of work and a little bit of guidance, which is where I come in.
Perfect. And then if people want your guidance and your support in finding their new way forward and fixing a relationship or just making a relationship that they're currently in a little bit stronger, how can they connect with you? How can they find you and get in touch to have a clarity call or find out whether they can work with you?
The best place is to reach me on Instagram. I actually do a lot of education, reels, and videos about relationships. So, a lot of free resources available. Or to visit happyeverafter.asia, where they can actually book a free call with me and discover if we are a good match.
Perfect. And I'll have all of that information down below the video. Thanks so much.